Good morning. Today's date is April 15th, 2019, tax day. Art thou dreaded tax day. And this is the Hello Rookie Podcast. What up, Chris? How you doing?
Good, man. I haven't filed, have you?
I'm filing right now while we're wasting our time creating a video here.
Oh my God, are you being serious?
In other news, the fully unredacted Mueller report is now available to the
Oh,
public.
Jesus Christ. Is it really?
No.
No. I wouldn't
Okay.
know.
So let's give the people what they want, Chris. And what they want is your brains talking about NHL playoff bets. Do you have some info on NHL playoff bets? Let's have a look at tonight's slate real quick first. So we got in NHL playoffs, we have tonight's games are Bruins, Maple Leafs, Capitals, Hurricanes, Predators, Stars, Flames, Avalanche, Lightning. Oh, no. That's tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. So four games tonight starting at 7, 2 games at 7, 1 game at 9:30, and 1 game at 10. I think those are all Eastern Standard Time. Oh, I'm not sure. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm going to preface this by saying you're talking to a guy with not 1 or 2, but 20 units on the Lightning series. So I'm in a little bit of trouble as far as NHL goes right now, but we're going to clean this up. And we got some winners for tonight.
Tell the people what a unit is.
I mean, it could be anything. Like,
when I think unit, I think myself and your mother, for example.
Okay, yeah. That's a good thought to have. I don't think that, but no, a unit would be whatever typically you bet. So it could be $100, it could be $1,000, it could be $10,000, whatever. So if you have one unit on a game, you have $100 or $1,000. Depends on who you are, right? I put a lot of money on the Lightning series. Felt really good about it, and we're down
3 dick.
0-3. Yep. Yeah. Who saw that coming though? I mean, literally, who saw that coming?
But yeah. So tomorrow could pretty much end your 20 units.
Well, if you remember when the Kings won their last cup, they were down 0-3, and then they just won out basically. I feel as good as you can feel about a team down 0-3. I'll say that, right? Like, scored the most goals than any other team in 3 decades, winningest team, regular season team of all time, 340 goal scorers, 390 plus point scorers. We get Hedman and Kucherov back tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Just got to get one. And plus, so Bob is standing on his head right now. But he's a nutcase. You get one past him and he could crumble at any moment. So, anyways.
I'll be crossing my fingers for you.
Appreciate it. Okay, so let's start with Boston and Toronto. Series is 1-1. It's one that I think most experts were pretty heavy on the Bruins. Coming into the series, they were clearly the better team in the regular season. They've outshot the Maple Leafs 79-64 so far this series. Tuukka had a bad game. I think Boston has an advantage basically everywhere on the ice. And it kind of played out that way in the regular season. They won 3 of 4, averaging 4 goals a game against the Maple Leafs. I think they outscored them 16-10 in the regular season, something like that. And again, they're out shooting them again. They get better goalkeeping in general. Obviously, considerably better on defense with Big Z back there. I think they go into Toronto and win tonight. They're currently plus 109. So, you're getting some juice there with them on the road. A ton of public money on Toronto, as there usually is with hockey. But I like the Bruins tonight.
Here's a headline for you from Deadspin 23 hours ago. The refs lost control as the Bruins and Maple Leafs tried to kill each other.
Yeah, well, if we get through, just wait till that series because there's these teams in general. I mean, Boston with Brad Marchand even Charlie and Big Z likes to fight, and I mean in general they're one of the dirtier teams I think in hockey. But yeah, not a surprising headline from the NHL playoffs. All right, second game, Washington at in your backyard against Carolina. Both teams lost one game due to horrendous goalkeeping. Particularly the Hurricanes. I think Mrazek faced 17 shots in game one and gave up 3 goals, something like that. But overall, I think Carolina has outplayed Washington in both games. I don't know. They lost game one because of the goaltending. Game two, they lost in overtime. They really, dominated most of that game as well. They just didn't get the goals. Again, goalkeeping is an issue for them, but they opened at minus 135. 75% of the initial bets came in on the Hurricanes. That number's down to 70% now, I believe, 72%, something like that. So we saw the Hurricanes open at minus 135. They got bet to minus 130 in a hurry, and now it's kind of trickling back towards going to minus 135 again. I think the Hurricanes are going to get one at home, and I think it's going to be this one tonight. So I like Carolina minus 130 there. Third game, Nashville, Dallas. This is the most bet on game so far. We can pull up the number of bets here. Okay, so actually the Washington game just passed it, but 692 bets so far tracked through the Action Network. 52% of the bets on Nashville, 80% of the money is on Nashville. I'm going the other way. I like Dallas. I like Ben Bishop at home. That Dallas defense is going to be suffocating, particularly at the start of the game. So I'd look at Dallas first period for sure. I also like Dallas overall. It's been a 1-goal game each of the last 2. Bishop's clearly the hottest goalie in the league. I think the Preds will steal a game at American Airlines. I just don't think it's going to be this one. I think they're a better bet in game 4. I think Dallas wins this one. And then the fourth game, Calgary at Colorado. After sweeping the regular season series, averaging 4.7 goals a game against Calgary, or against Colorado, Calgary kind of got caught off guard in game 2, I think. They came out and beat Colorado 4-0 in the first game. I think they thought they had an answer for the McKinnon-Rantanen line. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Rantanen had 2 points. McKinnon had a goal and assist. I think they have the message. I think Calgary is going to win the next 3, take the series 4-1. So I would lay the minus 113. That one opened to minus 127. Calgary's down to minus 113 now, so it's a good time to jump on that because they've actually seen the majority of bets and money since they adjusted that line. So Calgary coming in as the 4th pick tonight.
Good stuff. Any? Did you look through any prop bets on any of these games lately?
I did not. I'll try and pull them up real quick. I don't know if there's even anything up. There's live betting. Series lines are still up, and that's it. You can bet on futures. So look at this. Is crazy, right? Tampa Bay was like plus 2. I don't know what they were, plus 250, something insane, as low as you'll ever see a team for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they're all the way down to plus 1,400 now. Crazy how those 3 games have changed. Not only that, but they're up 3-0 in the first period, and they've been outscored, I think, 11-1 since then.
What in the world is happening to the Lightning?
Implosion, man. Implosion. Yeah, a lot of bad things. So we got up 3-0, basically turned it off. They came back and just had no momentum to stop the comeback. Bobrovsky's been standing on his head in goal. Lost our composure in game 2. They scored just less than 5 minutes into the game. Lost the composure. Nikita Kucherov got kicked out of the game. Our best player got kicked out of the game. Hedman got hurt, basically the league's best defender. So he missed the last game. Kucherov got suspended for the last game, so you're without arguably your 2 best players. So that even took, more momentum out. And then game 3, we had the puck the entire time. just hit a lot of crossbars. Bob made some good saves. Vasilevsky's not making good saves, and that's it.
So quite a lot has happened, it seems.
Yeah, a lot has gone wrong. A lot of bad luck, a lot of really, really good play in the neutral zone by Columbus, but we'll see. Maybe they'll turn it around. Crazy story though, for sure.
Yeah. All right. And that game is again tomorrow night. Now, is there any way that you can check the time? Do you have any time that we can write down to close that segment?
All right, I'm closing it right now. And I'm starting a second segment. Next segment has begun.
Okay. Should we do a whole title for this thing or no?
Yeah, what are we getting into? The NFL draft?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to look at NFL some NFL draft bets on FanDuel.
Yeah. For anybody that's actually listening to this live, we're going to be chopping this up and placing the videos on YouTube and other places separately. So you'll just have to deal with this. All right. So begin this one here, Chris. Write down this time in your brain.
What?
Do you want me?
I'm actually chopping it up. It's already been chopped. We're in the next segment. We have been. You're butchering it so far.
Uh-huh.
Here, hold on.
Right.
All right. Ready? Starting now.
All right. Good stuff. Well, now that we're done talking about NHL, let's go ahead and get into NFL draft bets.
Yes, sir.
What are we going to look at?
Well, we're on FanDuel. I went on DraftKings this morning. I didn't see anything on their app for the NFL draft, and Vegas may actually have pulled theirs down already too. I know they said they're going to pull down all of the NFL draft props about a week to 2 weeks before the draft, so they may already have theirs down as well. But this is what we have. We have
why did they pull everything down?
I believe the draft is in Vegas. I'm not positive on that. Actually, I'm not gonna say that. But I think as guys get to the NFL draft, you basically get more and more people aware of like, oh yeah, I'm going blank. It's kind of already unofficially leaked that Kyler Murray's going number one.
I gotcha.
Somebody, it's kind of a weird story that has something to do with Reddit, but somebody with ties to Kyler Murray's agent, who's also Cliff Kingsbury, the Arizona coach's agent, apparently leaked somewhere, somehow through Reddit that Kyler Murray's a done deal at one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to kind of get into what that does to some of these, but I don't know though. I'm not convinced that there isn't a little misdirection going there because we're not hearing a whole lot in terms of Rosen, getting traded, but some really accurate, really some guys that have some really good ties in the NFL, reporter-wise, are reporting that it's a done deal. So if that's the case, you're looking at these, number one, which team will draft Kyler Murray and number one pick in the NFL draft in 2019. These are the two first draft bets up here. And there's just no value in it, right? Like a $100 bet on this is only going to pay $10. So not a lot of value unless you think someone's going to be desperate to get that franchise-changing defensive end, and they really want to go get Nick Bosa. He's the only guy I think that can compete as the number one pick here. And there's a chance the Cardinals, like I said, this may all be a smokescreen, and they're going to take Nick Bosa. He's by far the best player in this draft, in my opinion. I think ESPN may have just swapped or switched and moved for Quinnen Williams. But for me, I want a guy that's going to get those, give you the quarterback pressures. I'd actually take Josh Allen ahead of Quinnen Williams just because I think with where the league is right now, you need those pass rushers more than you do the interior guys. So, I mean, it all but seems that this is a lock for Murray and the Cardinals here. But if that, I don't know. We don't know for sure. It hasn't leaked. It used to be that they would negotiate contracts, and it's kind of leaked that they are negotiating a contract. But again, no one's confirmed that either. So I don't know what to do with this. I don't think it's worth betting on Kyler Murray, but I'm not. It certainly seems like it's not worth it betting on anyone else based off of what information we have. So.
Okay, and when are these going to be pulled down? Did you say? Because it looks like they're still up.
Yeah, they're up right now. They're what day is the draft? Can you look that up?
Let's see. Saturday, April 27th.
Yeah, so 12 days from now. So they could be pulled down anywhere from 2 to 5 days from now. I think that's more. Can you see where it is? Is it actually in Vegas?
I'm sorry. It looks like it might begin on Thursday, April 25th. Okay. It's actually looks like it might be in Nashville, Tennessee this year.
Okay. Yeah, so that would make sense for the 25th because I know most sportsbooks said they're going to take anything they had up, down, 10 days out. So I think it gets a little more intriguing with these when you get to Join Haskins and some of these other ones. So if we let me get the draft order pulled up here while we're talking about
I gotcha.
this. So basically
Cardinals, Niners, Jets, Raiders, Bucks, Giants.
No, I'm going to pull it up so we can get it.
All right.
The thing is I can't click on a CBS result and they always come up number one. All right, we're going to click on CBS and just mute it. Yeah. I don't know if you have had the pleasure of opening up a CBS Sports website, but they do this with insane volume. All right, so yeah, this is the order, right? And when you start to pick through these teams, you have quarterback, or they're going to draft a quarterback, or they're in on Rosen. Those are the only two options for the Cardinals. I feel like they're either in on Rosen and Boza goes. So no quarterback is going to go. If you believe the reports that the Giants have ruled out drafting a quarterback, and if you look at Dwayne Haskins' numbers, the Giants are still the favorite to draft him at 6. But there are a lot of reports out there that the Giants have ruled out drafting a quarterback at 6, and they're going to go defense. If that's the case, the Jags just got Nick Foles, Stafford with the Lions, the Bills like Allen. You get to Denver Broncos, they're pretty much, it looks like they're kind of honing in on Locke at the 10 spot. And I don't know if that's, with the assumption that Haskins is gone, but it appears like Locke is going to end up in Denver as the number 10 pick. So with that in mind, you come back here. If Dwayne Haskins doesn't go to the Giants, he's going to get past the Broncos, and then you get to the Bengals, who are in the market for a quarterback, basically a project under Dalton for the next year or so. That's got significant value here because at plus $1,100, $100 bet pays out $1,100 on the Bengals. So Dwayne Haskins to the Bengals is an interesting one to me. In state, Haskins I think he put on his Instagram not too long ago a picture of him in a Bengals uniform. So that one kind of makes sense. That bet kind of makes sense to me. Again, plus 225 for the Giants for a team that basically has said they have no interest in drafting him. I don't like that number at all. I kind of like the Bengals at plus 1,100. So obviously Kyler is going to be the odds-on favorite to be first quarterback taken. I think if Arizona doesn't draft him, they would trade the pick and somebody else would draft him number 1. I don't see it with that, but second quarterback taken. This is another one plus 400 if you think Drew Lock goes, which is kind of my opinion. Haskins' stock is falling. If he gets past the Giants, I do think the Broncos will take Lock. They like his accuracy, his ability to throw the back shoulder. Anything downfield, Lock is considerably better than Haskins. He's more accurate downfield, better deep ball thrower, better anything outside the numbers. Haskins kind of lives in that the crossing system with the Buckeyes. Anything short to intermediate range, he's got that, a strong arm. He's really accurate in there, but he's not great under pressure. Actually, of these guys under pressure, arguably Daniel Jones is the best of the group. Kyler is going to try and run. Haskins kind of gets a little panicky. He didn't have to see a lot of pressure in Ohio State. Locke's footwork is still sloppy, so Daniel Jones is arguably the best under pressure. But anyways, I think Locke is a nice bet to be the second quarterback taken in this year's draft. Clear this out. Next one's first running back taken. This is done. This is a lock. Josh Jacobs. Occasionally you'll see where maybe a small school or a scat back or a third down back could sneak into the first round and kind of catch someone's attention. This just isn't the year for that. There's no, like, if you look at this group of running backs right here, none of them are that guy. I think maybe there's one in the draft, and I would be looking more at second running back taken. Come down and look at Darrell Henderson, who's a big play guy, averaged 10 yards per carry, or just under 10 yards per carry for Memphis at plus 3,300. That's kind of a nice bet right there, because he can catch the ball. He's explosive, arguably the most explosive back in the draft. $100 bet pays 3,300 on it, so it's certainly one worth looking at. I have not seen him anywhere in the first round or anywhere near the first round in any mocks, but there is only one running back in the first round in most mocks. So last one they have is first wide receiver taken. Very easy. Minus 105 is nothing. I would lay minus 105. DK Metcalf is going to be the first receiver off the board. If they had second receiver off the board, that would be much more interesting, because you can make an argument for all three of these guys: A.J. Brown, Hakeem Butler, and N'Keal Harry. Actually, Hakeem Butler is an interesting one to play first wide receiver drafted, because his skill set's a little unique. He's a big play guy, big receiver. I think he's a prototypical NFL receiver. I think he'll be the second receiver drafted here. And then the fun one, the tight ends, both Iowa guys up number 1 and number 2. I would switch these. I think Noah Fant is by far the best tight end, because when you look at you're going to have to take one of these guys in the top 15 to get him. And you're not going to take TJ Hawkinson. I mean, he's a decent athlete, but 4.8, 40, somewhere in that range. A much better blocker than Noah Fant, but he can't run the same route tree. Noah Fant's basically one of those guys that's a glorified receiver, kind of Eric Ebron type tight end. They're both 6'6", both big, strong guys, big, strong hands, but Fant's a much better route runner, pass catcher. He highballs the ball better. Way more productive at Iowa than Hawk was. So this is a nice bet too. Noah Fant plus 240 to be the first tight end off the board. He can't block. That's kind of the risk there that teams take drafting him over TJ Hawkinson. So that's it. Those are the NFL draft props.
Very well said, man. All right. Next segment.
All right. So I ended that one, Joe. You just say start segment when you're going to segue, and I'll let you dick around for the next 10 seconds trying to figure that out. Let me know.
What do you want me to say? Start segment.
All right. No, I'm. You just let me know. Are we ready? We're going.
Yeah, start segment.
All right. We're dropping frames like crazy too. By the way, YouTube is a sketchy live platform to say the least.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Oh, is it for you?
It was. It seems to be okay right now.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right. So very well said, man. You're so up to date on those NFL rookie prospects.
I know too much.
Lots of
when you do
interesting bet options. I mean, the second running back seems to be quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, there is no second running back, I think, and that's for once. Like, it seems like every year there's a guy Naheem Hines from Indianapolis. You know, somebody that can catch the ball. There's not this year. There isn't. So there is no like, second running back that's worth taking a shot on. I don't know. Not a good running back year.
Yeah, crazy.
Yep.
All right, let's talk NBA playoff lineups.
2 games tonight.
Yeah, a big whopping 2 games, huh?
I hate the NBA, man. I hate the NBA. Think about that. The NHL is wrapping up round 4 tonight, or not game 4 for all of the series tonight. And the NBA is just getting into game 2s, just kind of easing into them. We don't want to do a full slate either. We're just going to do 2. We're going to stretch out this fucking NBA playoffs for the next 6 months.
I know.
It's the best way to do it for everybody.
Yeah. All right, so 2 games on the slate tonight. We got the Nets and the 76ers at 8 o'clock tonight, and then we have the Clippers Warriors at 10:30. I believe those are Eastern Standard Times.
Yep.
So far, the Nets lead their series 1-0, and the Warriors lead their series 1-0. So we're going to look at the DFS side of things, I think.
Yeah.
With 2 games on the radar, which
will limit. I mean, it's not
limit options, but
yeah, it's not ideal, but it's not like it is what it is. If people want to play tonight, it's their only option.
Yeah. I think right after this, what we'll do is do a little recap of the Masters. What do you think?
We haven't even talked about the Masters yet.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll do that. That sounds good. All right. So here's the implied live totals: 124 point total for the Warriors tonight. They are a 13.5 point favorite over the Clippers. I mean, it's so annoying, the NBA. I mean, it's so annoying. But all right. 117 for the 76ers. They are an 8-point favorite over the Nets. That series is really interesting to me. Did you know that so far every NBA game's gone over in the playoffs? It's actually in my opinion, it's a pretty positive sign that, I don't know, the league's moving in the right direction. Like it's going to be a competitive playoff. Maybe it will. We'll see.
I did not know that, but I would agree. It's a good sign.
Some defense actually being played. All right, so 110 point total for the Clippers and 109 point total for the Nets. Yeah, I mentioned the 76ers Nets series is interesting. The regular season, every game was close. I don't know what the series ended up being, but every game was close and every game was really, really high scoring. So that would be one. If I was going to say, this game's got a chance to go over its total tonight, I think the 226 76ers Nets total is a little more intriguing than the Golden State LA Clippers. Golden State's a team that appears ready to defend this playoff season, whatever, in these playoffs. I'm when they asked what Kevin Durant, what he thought the key to last night's game was, he thought, he said it was the defense, and specifically the defense on what's his name? What's his first name? Landry Shamet. Whatever. He 3-point shooter for the Clippers, who they actually got from the 76ers. So, yeah, Golden State seems locked in on defense. It's a team that I wouldn't be looking to bet overs on right now. But looking at our Hello Rookie model on Fantasy Labs for tonight, we can kind of go over some of the top players. Stephen Curry, Montrezl Harrell, Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins, Ben Simmons, Mike Scott, Klay Thompson, Lou Williams, Draymond Green, Danilo Gallinari, Joel Embiid. So, guys that I like off of this, that this model is spitting out. I like Boogie. I like Ben Simmons. I like Mike Scott. I like Draymond. Minutes going up. He's a playoff vet. Minutes going up. Usage will go up a little. And I like Joel Embiid to have a big bounce back game. We can kind of I want to look at what Joel Embiid does. So this is his DraftKings game log against the Nets. He had 74 in March, 67 in December, 57 in November, and another 42-point game in November. He's averaging, in his last 3 games against the Nets, he's averaging 35 points a game, 66 DraftKings points per game. So he loves this matchup, and obviously he's going to want to show up and have a big game after what happened in game 1. He played just 24 minutes, scored just 56 DraftKings points. He's got a ton of upper 70s, low 80s games in his 10-game log here. So big time down game for him in a matchup that he should just totally eat in. So I like Embiid for a bounce back game tonight. He's the guy that I'm paying up for. I think he's got the highest upside of anyone in these 4 teams. Same thing with Ben Simmons. He's due for a bounce back game. He averages 45 DraftKings points per game against Brooklyn. Again, I think this is the game that's a little more up tempo and higher scoring than the other in this slate. He had a disappointing game 1, just 29 fantasy points. If you go back to when he was getting his full allotment of minutes, he's mid 40s to mid 50s every night. So I think he bounced back. He gets back in the mid to upper 40s at least. So pretty solid play in the playoffs. Spencer Dinwiddie, another guy that likes the matchup that he's in. Here we can pull that up as well. I wanted to go over Dinwiddie. So, where the Nets have had success against the 76ers this season is with Dinwiddie and LeVert, basically attacking from the perimeter. Your boy JJ Redick and in the 76ers backcourt. Dinwiddie's averaging almost 40 DraftKings points per game, or just under 40 DraftKings points per game against the 76ers this season. He had a big game 1, 32 minutes, 24 fantasy points, 18 points scored. I think he's a safe bet. I think he's going to have even a better game than that tonight. Both him and LeVert will continue to have higher usage rates in this matchup. LeVert's another guy. If we just swap him out in this in StatMuse here, okay. So there you go. LeVert is averaging 34.5 points per game against the 76ers this year. Which for his $5,600 value is obviously almost 7x. $5,600 salary is 7x value. Our punt, so as far as punt plays go tonight, I think small forward is a spot to do it. There's 2 guys that I would look at. Shamet, who we mentioned earlier, who the Warriors clearly keyed on. If you go back just a week ago, April 7th, he had in 31 minutes, he had 30 DraftKings points, shooting 5 of 6 from 3 against them. They keyed on him in game 1 and basically took him out of the game. He had 8 fantasy points, 3 points in total, only got 6 shots up from the floor. So keeping that in mind, I kind of like Mike Scott. He played 32 minutes in game 1. He only had 11 fantasy points, but if you go through his game log, if he gets 32 minutes, he should be right in the 20-point range, which at 3,400 DraftKings dollars is 6x value. So he's giving you kind of that punt play that's going to hit that 6x number that we're looking for. And then we mentioned Boogie Cousins. His minutes were way down because the game kind of got out of hand in game 1. And he didn't play particularly well in the minutes he got, shooting 33% from the floor. But matchup that he really likes against the Clippers, he's averaged well over 1 point per minute against the Clippers this season. So if he can get back up into the 30s, he'll hit 5x tonight. I think he's going to have it. He's another guy that's going to have a big bounce back game. And then Gilgeous Alexander is our last pick. I've got him in the guard spot. Big upside, $5,500 salary. He was kind of him and Lou Williams were the 2 Clippers players that I thought had the best game 1. He had 18, 5, and 3 in 34 minutes against Steph. When Lou Williams is on the floor with Gilgeous Alexander, I think it'll be Klay Thompson on Lou Williams and Gilgeous-Alexander will see a lot of Steph Curry, which is obviously the preferred matchup there. His game log again, mid-30s, mid-40s. He was at 33 last game, right on pace there. So you're getting 6x value out of him. And in the playoffs, I think you lower that target value number from 7x down to 5.5, 6x value to cash, particularly in these smaller slates where there's not a ton of options out there. So this is kind of my my take on tonight. This is the lineup that I would put together for tonight's slate. But 2 games, 4 teams, there's not going to be a ton of variance. But
that's solid, man.
Yep.
Very well said.
Yeah.
I might actually watch some NBA tonight. I'm not sure. Looks like JJ maybe is coming back from an injury.
Yeah, he was playing really, really well, and then he hurt his back and his hamstring. Is that right? Back and quad, something like that. He got 2 injuries all of a sudden. Missed their last 2 games. They kind of eased him back in game 1. He's gonna have to play for them tonight, but
yeah, they need him.
Yep.
All right. Close segment.
Segment closed.
Open segment.
Segment opened.
And welcome back to Hello.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive into some Masters talk. People have probably heard too much of it by now, but we actually haven't even had a conversation about it. Okay, so I found an interesting article just real quick to kick off a little just back and forth about the Masters.
Yep.
Here's the title of it, and it's retarded, but FanDuel loses $2 million on Tiger Woods' historic Masters comeback.
Well,
like it's a terrible thing, like they can't handle it or something.
I can talk forever about this because I've got a little.
Go ahead. No.
So you know how they lost the $2 million? Because so in general, it's not easy for a sportsbook to lose money on a golf tournament because so many people are just picking someone to win. So many casual bettors are, obviously the issue is, I think it was 30+% of money was on Tiger to win as far as like straight up, betting guys to win. Tiger was the most bet on player by a ton. But still, most books in Vegas either made a little bit of money or lost very little money, even with Tiger's win. And they were getting beat, in live betting because depending on the book, live betting was 30 to 50% on Tiger throughout the tournament. So they were losing money with live betting as well. But FanDuel lost money on the DFS side. FanDuel did this cute little promotion, which is the other thing. Like with FanDuel and DraftKings, they compete with each other so hard that they do these promotions that don't make sense, and then they lose a ton of money on them. And but so FanDuel ran a promotion where if you entered their $15 $1 million contest, and Tiger won, they would refund everybody's entry fees. So their biggest contest of the Masters, they had to refund every entry because Tiger won.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the question is really, is Tiger going to become overvalued across DFS and betting?
Yeah, he already big time is. He's by far the odds-on favorite for the PGA for the next 2 majors. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I guess we should have hyped up.
No. Well, all you can do, right? Like, all right. So our picks were really, really, really good. We were on Cantlay. We were on Schauffele. We were on who else were we on? We were on Jason Day, who finished 5th. We were on Brooks Koepka, you look at our picks. It was Schauffele who tied for 2nd, Brooks Koepka who tied for 3rd, or who tied for 2nd. Sorry, Jason Day who was 5th, Cantlay who was 9th. Like we were all over. We only gave out 6 picks, and that's
no. You're right.
There.
You're right. I'm just talking in terms of picking the winner. Like,
no, he had no right to be there. He's not a good golfer right now. You look at his statistics compared to anybody else on tour. any statistic that mattered on Augusta, and he was below average at best. You compare him to Good Tiger, and he was horrible. You compare him to someone like Rory or Jason Day, who they're both, you know, amongst the best in multiple categories that were relevant to this course. And Tiger's like in the 90s, he's in the 70s, he's in the, you know, his nothing statistically hinted at him being able to do what he did this weekend,
All right.
other than the fact that he's Tiger. Like,
All right.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I see two different conversations happening, really, or two different debates. One is whether or not Tiger Woods should have been called by us to win from a betting or statistical standpoint, and the other conversation of just overall golf world wise, is Tiger back?
Yeah.
And obviously two different conversations to have, but I think
he can compete with these guys, you know, at any tournament for sure. And then he's got the experience and the mental strength, the mental fortitude to win majors. You know, so if he had his A game and he was mentally prepared and more experienced than everybody else that was on the leaderboard.
I think you have to say, like, okay, betting and statistics aside, I think you have to say that Tiger winning the Masters means that he's back, just because of the extra, you know, provenance or whatever that you know the Masters brings.
He was back last year. I'm just saying he's not, like, the way he's being back like he is Tiger, you know, in the early 2000s, and that's ridiculous. Back then there's no analogy to what Tiger was back then. We've never seen it before in sports. Like, a lot of people like to say he's, you know, the Michael Jordan of golf, but that's not. So he would be the Michael Jordan of golf if Jordan could shoot like Steph Curry, could jump like Jordan, could, you know, handle like Iverson. You know, he was the best putter. He was the best driver. He was the best on approach shots. He was the best putting from every distance you could look at putting from. He was the best scrambler. He was hitting it further than everybody. I mean, it didn't matter what statistic you looked at back then. He was number one. And we've never seen anybody like that in sports. Like, you know, I guess maybe when Babe Ruth was leading the league in wins and home runs in the same year. But aside from that, we've never seen anything like it in sports. So, but he's not that guy, and that's how he's being bet.
Yeah,
just because, you know, a bunch of fanboys.
He even said it at the press conference after the Masters. Did you see that? A reporter asked him if he would give his current status or game a grade like he used to. He used to give, like, you know, A, B, B plus, whatever grade to like his status, how he felt health wise, how his game was overall. And Tiger pretty quickly said that he would not be doing that. But at the same time, it's just what we're saying. He just won, so he's back.
Oh yeah, he's back. Yep, he's in contention. But it's, I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, I will like watching good golf, and I don't care who it is. Like, I really wanted to see, you know, Brooks play. I wanted to see Jason Day play. I wanted to see, like, there's guys going around the course. You don't even get to, you know, we didn't get to see a lot of what Dustin did on the course. You didn't get to see Ricky Fowler, your boy. So that's disappointing to me. And I know there's options, right? Like, I don't have to watch the CBS coverage, but at the same time, you know, I don't know. I like the CBS coverage. They do some good stuff with it, but yeah, I just, sometimes you just want to watch golf and not just Tiger and his fanboys on him down every time he moves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you, but at the same time, you know, they had the early start time, and it was such a tight field. You know, towards the end, there was only so much that they could do, and obviously with the storyline with Tiger, yeah, I imagine it was something of a ratings windfall, and it turned out that they did well to stay on Tiger.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah, they really didn't have an issue. or an option, right? Like they had to. I feel like somewhere in production room was a guy that was managing what the hell they were showing, and he cut away from Tiger's group for a second, right? Like God forbid we don't see Tony Finau hit a 40-foot putt, and his fucking producer was in his ear saying, "What are we doing? Get back to Tiger's group." Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we didn't see Xander make his run. We didn't see Cantlay make his run. We saw, once they started to fade back, like, oh, they're fading back. We saw a couple shots there. I don't know, but it's fine. It's good for golf, right? Like, it's going to be popular again. The ratings for the next major are going to be off the charts. Betting, like the amount of money being bet is insane. Like the next, DFS and betting, the numbers are going to be crazy for future majors now.
Yeah, they are. Well, hopefully we can get some more value out of some of the other leaders. I mean, if Tiger is so overvalued.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, we've been missing that dimension for so long. I mean, we've had some hello players rise to the top, but having that MJ level talent in the mix, it's going to be an interesting year of golf, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Just one last thing about this article. So apparently, one Nevada resident placed an $85,000 bet on Woods to win it all, which of course won and paid out $1.2 million. It was 14-1 odds. It was the largest single ticket payout.
Is that William Hill, right?
William Hill, yeah. This article, according to CBS News.
He hasn't cashed it in yet, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff. For William Hill to even take that, usually those bets, I don't know what they usually cap out at William Hill, but nowhere near 85,000.
Who's betting?
It's the same approach, right? Like they'll take that money. FanDuel will make that promotion. All of them, had seen Tiger golf, had looked at the numbers, the statistics, his current form coming in, and came to the conclusion, there's no way. Somebody, I think it was at FanDuel, one of their executives basically stood up on a table and said, "This guy has zero chance of winning. Let's run this promotion." And like that story's out there. Like he said, "This guy cannot win. We're going to run this promotion." I don't remember where it was. Same thing. DraftKings. Once Tiger was in contention, everybody kind of shifted his odds down 5-1, 8-1, whatever it was, because all the money was coming in on him. They were trying to get people to stop betting on him to give them a chance to make some money, if he did win. DraftKings bumped his odds up to 10-1 to attract new players because, hey, you can only bet Tiger at 5-1 over there. You can bet him 10-1 here. They lost a bunch of money on that. So I think Vegas did fine, but Jersey were all in on the fact that Tiger can't win a major or can't win this Masters, and they came out looking terrible. Well, I mean, they came out looking fine. They lost a shitload of money, though. Yeah.
Well,
fun weekend, though. Fun tournament. Yeah, it was good. I don't think they showed Paulina Gretzky once, though, which is, I don't know. What would the odds have been if we had a Paulina cam every once in a while? Like, you're not going to get to see Dustin golf all weekend. Just a bunch of Tiger golf and Dustin's wife. That's what you get.
That should have been up on our robust Twitter feed.
I know, that's weird.
Where's the hashtag Paulina cam?
So, did you place any bets on Game of Thrones after we talked about it last week?
No.
I don't think anything was settled last night. I think the only bet that was settled was who speaks first and who gets shown on camera first. And Tyrion spoke first. I don't know who was on camera first. I don't remember. What's her name was favorite? Sansa. Sansa was the favorite. I think Arya was first. Because they showed the Unsullied walking into the city, and then watching them was Arya. So
Right.
Arya cashed that one. There you go.
Right.
Two Game of Thrones bets settled. No one's dead, so most of the bets are still out there. They're almost all who dies first.
Oh, I know, dude. I was gonna place a bet with Kate on who she thought was gonna die in this episode. I mean, so there's only like 6 episodes this season, right?
I think there's 7, right? But I
7.
thought they were a lot longer than what this one was. But maybe
Yeah.
future ones will be.
Yeah. So.
Cersei is the odds-on favorite to be the first to die.
Oh wow, I can't believe that.
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt it if they made her just rule the fucking world, rule the 7 kingdoms forever.
She's
Um,
she's nowhere near the action though. That's the thing. Is like all of a sudden, like after watching that one, I'm going to go back and look to see what the lines are right now.
betting on Hollywood writers.
And also,
Yeah.
I haven't been on the Pirate Bay lately, so I'm not sure if episode 2 is available and we got some free money sitting out there.
That's a good point. I don't imagine it is. It'd be leaked everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
NBC News would grab a hold of that and it'd be front page news. For that matter, any news outlet, just because it's so heavily watched.
Something must have leaked because all right. So the number one prop on Bovada is when will Cersei Lannister perish? And the odds on favorite is 5 or 6, and it's not only the favorite. It's like minus 500, and 3 and 4 are plus 400.
When will she?
Maybe
perish?
there is only 6 episodes, right? I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but yeah, 1 or 2 is plus 5,000. So if you put a little money on that and she dies in the next episode,
Oh man, there's no chance. I mean, she's gonna go to the end. Period.
I'm doing it.
Like-
I'm going to go through this today, and I'm going to put some money on it. And then it's asking who will kill Cersei Lannister, and the favorite is Jaime.
Yeah, I kind of like that thought, but
Arya is right behind him. Plus 140 for Jaime, plus 150 for Arya.
Arya would make sense too because she's got her little list going of people that she offs.
It's got to be Tyrion, right? He's killed his dad. He killed his mom. It's got to be Tyrion.
Yeah,
He killed his mom.
that's too easy.
Oh,
Yeah, that may be a little overstated.
that's what they claim. I mean, that's what Cersei says, right? You took
Well-
my mom. Apparently, the little guy came out sideways, and that was it.
That's what his dad said to him too. Whatever the hell his name was, I can't remember even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Tywin, Lord Tywin. So, what are the odds on Cersei dying in the 5th or 6th season?
Minus 500. So let's say conservative Joe wants to throw $10 on that. That'll win you $2. That'll
Yeah.
win you 2 bitcoins or $2
Yeah,
in Bitcoin.
I think that's most likely, if at all. I'd be 50-50 on if she does at all.
I think she's dead.
Here's the thing, what have we seen throughout the show? Things that you like happening? No. Things that you expect to happen? No. Like,
So Jon Snow is not going to be king of the 7 kingdoms when it ends, is your prediction?
that would be what I think everybody would like to see happen.
That's on here, I believe. Who rules Westeros at the end of season 8? Jon Snow. Here, I'm just going to pull this up. Jon Snow plus 225. Bran Stark plus 275.
Here's a question for you before you get into these odds. Does what the hell's the name of the city?
Cersei's plus 2,500.
What the
King's
hell's the name
Landing?
of the city? King's Landing. Does that even, continue to exist? Does the Iron Throne continue to exist? By the end of the season,
Yeah.
or do they throw a complete, wrench on the whole thing?
Yeah, I don't know. What are the odds? All right, what are the odds on Littlefinger? There's been so much.
He's already dead.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, okay, so what? Who's the spy?
Right. What is his name? The eunuch. as he's called.
I don't know.
Yeah, the eunuch that's hanging out with
Varus?
Tyrion.
Varys?
Yes.
Plus 7,000.
For him to rule?
He's hinted at it so many times in the show, right? Remember when him and
that's a
somebody
proper
were talking right in front of it? Oh, the Viper. And the Viper asked him what his aspirations were, and he hinted towards, or he like pointed at the throne.
Yeah. He's been
All right. Yeah. Whatever.
good stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to do any other segments? Talk about anything else while we're live and we have thousands of viewers on the edge of their seats?
I'm pretty worn out, man.
You ready to end this thing?
I'm ready for a nap. A beer and a nap.
All right. That's all we have for today's, ladies and gents. Thank you for your viewership, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hello Rookie on your favorite platforms. Head on over to HelloRookie.com. Check out what we're doing. We try to put up a ton of reviews, and we're actually just going to be getting into producing a lot more strategy content that is daily fantasy sports and betting strategies. So check us out. Peace out.